You have tuned in to Kingdom Revelation with Apostle Dr. T. Wayne Bishop.
Everything that God called you to do, I command it shall be done. Everything that God anointed you to do, I'll stir it up right now in the name of Jesus.
Father, I pray that the interpreter will come and rightly interpret this word to our hearts, that souls would be saved. The signs and wonders may be done by the power of your word. And Father's children say amen and amen. Today, I want to talk about the power of the word, the power of the word, power of the word, or the power, the creative power of the word of God. This is very consistent with the conversation of the law of attraction. And we'll get into that and explore that. And we'll see the power, the creative power of words. Words matter. Words matter. Let's go to Mark chapter 11 and verse 20. And on the occasion of this text, the day before is when Jesus came to the fig tree and there was no figs on it. Tree only had leaves. And he cursed the fig tree in that he said to it, "No man eat from you from this day forward." And having said that, the Bible said the disciples heard it because they were with him. So he went on his way. And on the next day, the morning of the next day, is where our text begins as Peter begins to make some identification. So we begin in Mark 11 and verse 20. And we'll read a couple of verses there. Now in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the root. The there refers to his disciples. And Peter, remembering, said to him, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree which you cursed has withered away." So Jesus answered and said to them, "Have faith in God." Now you got to pay attention to everything that comes next, because he's about to tell them and he's about to tell us how to get answers to prayer, how to get our prayers answered, how to shift things in the spirit, how to move obstacles from our lives. He's about to tell them how to change their reality. The reality is whatever you're experiencing now, whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling, whatever your experience is at this very moment. That is your world. That is your current reality. But he's about to teach his disciples and to teach us that in the spiritual realm and in the law of attraction, using that law, that principle, understanding it, using it and manifesting it, that you can shift your reality. You can change your current experiences. And when you master the use and the understanding of the law of attraction, you can shift and change your reality very quickly. very, very quickly. But like everything else, like every trade, you've got to learn the rudiments of the law, how it manifests, and how how it ought to be used appropriately. So here what's coming next. Verse 22 of Matthew 11 says, have faith in God. So he begins with faith, that this is a faith thing. This key is a key of faith. You've got to believe that this thing works. You can't do it and hope it works. You cannot do it and try it to see if and wonder if. You've got to approach shifting and changing your reality from a perspective of faith. You've got to know that this is going to work. So let me ask you a question. Will the sun come out today? Will the sun come out? Will there be daylight on this particular day? That's so obvious to you. You have total certainty that this is going to be, the sun's going to come out. Well, it may be cold where you are. It may be hot where you live, cold or hot or in between. Doesn't matter, but you do know that this day, the sun will shine. The sun will come out. Maybe there'll be dark clouds, but you know that behind those clouds move away. You're going to see the sunshine. You have certainty. See, when this walk with the Father, this kingdom walk requires certainty. You got to come to the place that you know beyond a shadow of doubt that the thing that you desire will come to pass, that you will have the life that you desire to live, that the thing that you desire will come into your hands. The request that you have made of heaven will manifest in your life as long as you hear the revelation. Watch this now. As long this is the premise on the which you're going to believe that you're going to have everything you desire. You've got to hear the revelation. Secondly, you've got to understand the revelation, and it's in this order. See, that's why Father have manifested me in the earth, that I may teach the remnant of God about this manifestation and how to activate this manifestation. So there's steps here. Step number one, these are the 5 steps in being able to experience the manifestation of everything that you desire. Because your desire is what God, Father, wants for you. Your desire is a foretaste of the will and the purpose of the Lord. The reason why Father gave Joseph the dream was because he wanted him to start desiring something that was outside of his current reality. The reason why Father gives you faith, the reason why Father gives you desire, is because he wants you to connect with some things that are outside your current reality. That's how he leads us as his sons. So in order for you to connect with something that's outside your reality, you've got to know how. You got to know how to change your world. You got to know how to change your life. No one changes your life for you. When you come into proper relationship with the Lord and you serve him and you love him and you're living for him, he begins to teach you. As long as you submit and have a teachable spirit, he teaches you how to access your highest self. Yes, there is a higher self to you. There is a part of living that is higher than the level or the dimension or the reality to which you're currently experiencing. And in order to walk in that, he had to share with you the keys of the kingdom. I will give you, he said, the keys of the kingdom. Whatever you bind, heaven will bind it with you. Whatever you loose, heaven will loose it with you. This, my sons, this is the power of the law of attraction. This is the description of how the law of attraction works. You work it in the earth, and heaven agrees with it and coming to agreement with it, and the thing is released in your life. Whatsoever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. So here's the formula. Here's the key to shifting, changing, recreating your world. One, you've got to hear the principle. So Bible said, how can they hear without a preacher? How can the preacher preach unless he be sent? So there is divine order of things as it relates to changing your reality, changing your world. It's a process. We took time to get here. We gonna take time to move from here. You've got to, with consistency, practice, usurp this new teaching, this new revelation, in order to access a better quality of life. It's waiting for you round the corner, but unlearning is never easy. We began with this disadvantage that because of Adam's sin, we came in without faith, we came in without confidence, we came in ignorant of who we are. And historically, as a race of black people, we came in with a disadvantage of our history being denied us, being slaves, and brought from where we were to a world that was not ours and made to do what somebody else wanted us to do. And that might have been a smidgen okay if they paid us and give us a good life, but that's not what it was. They killed us and branded us. So we have generations of negative impact. And now that you hear this revelation, you've got to absorb it. You've got to practice it. You've got to put it into practice every day, that you have the power to change your life. And in Mark 11, in these verses that we are reading, Father teaches us through his son, our brother, Jesus Christ, teaches us how to access. So here is how it works. Here's the principle. Write these down. Somebody call Amber. I ain't see Amber. Where Amber at? Where Amber at? Write this down, Amber. Where Amber? You got to hear it. You got to hear the revelation. You can't have manifestation without revelation. You got to know something. So what Jesus is saying to his disciples, he began, Mark 11:22, he began, first of all, have faith in God. You want to curse things and have them dry up from the root, the way I did it, the way you have observed today? Well, here is how you get that done. You have to have faith in God. You got to have faith in the Lord. This life is the faith life. Bible said just must live by faith. You must believe in the supernatural. You must believe in the power of God to change your state and to change your life. Doesn't matter how you're born. You're born poor. I mean, I was them not born rich or nothing. How you began in life had nothing to do with your power to change your life. Had nothing to do with certificates. Had nothing to do with your accolades and your titles and whether you went to school or not, or graduated from high school or college or university. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Had nothing to do with how long you work, how hard you work. Absolutely nothing. The laws of the kingdom were independent of the laws of life. The law of creation works independent to the law of life. The law of life does not restrict the laws of the kingdom. The laws of the kingdom supersede the laws of life. These apostles were powerful people, but they were simple people. Many of them qualified, yes, and disciplined, like Luke the physician. and Peter, who owned an entire fishing industry with partners. Matthew, who was a tax collector, usually very wealthy people in that day. So you can shift and change your world. You can do things, say things, behave a way that will cause you to experience a new reality other than the one that was handed to you through natural birth. Because there's a different life that was handed to you through spiritual birth. Because once you became born again, you now became a recipient, a qualified recipient to access a better life. And that's what this is all about. I'm teaching you how to access your better life. And it does not depend on anybody. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you anything or to do anything for you. People will bless you. People will come into your life and they'll do great things for you. But it is not because you sit there waiting, hoping, and praying for it, because you understood the principles and the laws. And if you do that, then you will have total and absolute access. Think about having a key for a room, and you have the key to open the door, and you take the key and you put it into the lock. What comes next? You have to turn it. Turning the key is working the information. Turning the key is working the revelation. You can't just hear it. You got to work it. You got to turn the key. You have to turn it in order for that door to be open. Some people go as far as getting the key, and then others go further and they put the key in the lock, but they don't turn it. You got to turn it. Okay, here are the steps. Number one, you've got to hear it. Someone like myself, who was anointed and appointed by the Lord in time and season, but share this revelation with you. You've got to hear it. Number two, you've got to understand it. You have to understand it. You can't work something you don't understand. So understanding it means when you find a teacher such as myself, you sit under the teaching. You sit under the word. You don't just come in and grab a little something and run back out and say, ooh, that sounds good. That's not going to work. You got to sit on the truth. You've got to submit to truth. You've got to draw truth. You've got to encourage truth. So you got to sit on it. Sit under it. So you got to hear it. That's number one. You have to understand it. That's number two. And number three, you have to believe it. You got to believe what you're hearing. You got to sell yourself to it. You got to understand that this is it. And this is my way out. This is how I can aspire, evolve, and elevate. You've got to believe it. That's number three. Hear it, understand it, believe it. Number four, you got to do it. You must not only be hearers of this word, you must become a doer of the word. You got to get up and do it. You've got to every day make it happen. You've got to do it. You have to implement what you hear. You have to implement what's being told to you. You have to implement the word that is coming forth from the throne of our Father. You've got to implement the thing that Father is speaking to you. You've got to change the way you think. You've got to change the way you speak. You've got to change the way you behave. You have to work it. Work the word. I want those of you that are here, type in right now in the chat, I must work the word. I must work the word. Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, work the word. Whether it is summer, winter, or spring, work the word. Whether you feel good or don't feel good, you got to work the word. The word just not going to work because you heard it or you understand it. You've got to work the word. I must work the word. Right? Type that in there. Typing is going to help you remember it. It's going to get further into your spirit and into your thought life. I must work the word. Now, every now and then, you're going to catch yourself saying something that you're not supposed to say, doing something you're not supposed to do. I'm talking about something that's negative. I'm talking about something that's evil. Evil, I've had to redefine evil. Evil is the thing that is not in harmony or in concert with the total promises of God for my life. Murmuring and complaining, that's evil. Saying ugly things to myself, my children, my future, or anybody else, that's evil. Evil is anything that is not connected to the desire of God for my life. So I had personally had to redefine what evil is for me. I know the same thing is for you, but this is a personal something. So you've got to work the word. Go ahead, put it in there. I must work the word. If you haven't done it as yet, type it in. I must work the word. You've got to work the word. So let's go through this. I'm being methodical. I'm teaching here. I'm teaching. So you've got to hear it. You've got to understand it. You've got to believe it. You've got to work it. And number 5, you've got to expect it to work when you work it. Expectation. That's one of the 14 irrefutable laws of the kingdom of God. The law of expectation. You've got to expect it to work. I expect my life to be better. When I do what he says that I need to do, when I do the thing that I've been taught to do, my expectation is that I'll live an abundant life. I'll live a joyous life. I'll live a life closer to my heavenly Father, my Creator, my God. My life will improve. I'll have more money than I can possibly spend. I'll have money that I can help my siblings. I can help the ministry. I can help others. I can bring them up, improve their lives. Expect your life to be quality. Look at your future. Look at the kind of home you want to live in. Put that into your future. Get pictures of those homes. Get pictures of the car. Get pictures of clothing and the way you want to be dressed. And get pictures of your desired weight, goal. And start seeing that and picture that. Understand that you are expecting things to change. Speak like you're expecting things to change. Live like you are expecting things to change. So those are the 5 things that must happen in order for principle to work in your life. Those 5 things. I'm going to say them one more time. Not the last time necessarily, but one more time. And then I'm going to go continue and go into the rest of this word. What the 5? You've got to hear it, understand it. You got to believe it. You've got to work it. And you got to expect it to work when you work it. Expect it to manifest within your life. Expect your life to change. Expect everything that you're believing him for to manifest. Okay, so he begins in Mark 11:22 to teach us. This is Jesus, and he is teaching us how to create. He's teaching, because we were created to create. He's teaching us how to manifest the goodness of the Lord, how to manifest our desire. And we're going to go into this in depth in the prayer college coming up next month. So he said, have faith in God. Now we go to 23. Now here's the formula. He said, for assuredly, I say to you, whosoever says to this mountain. So there's an employment of words. If you want the mountain moved, you have to open your mouth and you got to say something. What comes out of your mouth is words. There are words. So he's saying that whosoever says to the mountain. So in his teaching us, he begins with words. Remember, today's message is the power of creative words. The power of creative words. So he is now aligning the mind of his disciples, of his apostles, of his sons, of his students. Father is speaking through his son, and he's saying to us today that the mountain has to be spoken to. You got to speak to it. Now, speaking to it is a whole difference than asking God to do it. He never said anything about asking our Father to do anything. He said, whosoever says. And who's he speaking to? He's speaking to his disciple. The word disciple means discipline one. This is not for everybody. This is for followers. This is for those who have committed to follow their Father through the finished work of Jesus Christ, our brother on the cross of Calvary, the Messiah. So we understand that upon coming into the kingdom, the way we access change is not asking God to change anything. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in prayer college. I'm not going to touch it today. We come in to the kingdom and we have to understand the power of words. Words have power. That's why you cannot sit under people who speak negatively over your life. You are killing yourself. One of the things I constantly heard my mother saying to my father, I didn't grow up in a healthy home environment. My father was an alcoholic and he was abusive, verbally, physically, all that. Very, very negative childhood in terms of human and marital relationships. That's what I was born under. Thank God for the blood of Jesus. Thank God for salvation. And my mother was constantly say, as a personal defense, when my dad starts to get abusive, she would say this: sticks and stones could break my bones, but words could never hurt me. And I must have heard my mama say that. My father died when I was about 9 or so, 9, 10. Thank God he died when I was that young, because if I had any more of that family life beyond 9, 10, my God, I would have need 2 buckets of blood and a swimming pool in order to get me changed. But then I just needed a drop by the time I got saved at 14. But he died early in my life. That way I didn't have that influence carrying into my life. And it wasn't good. I saw a lot of blood in my house growing up as a young boy. It was not pleasant. But we ain't going to go there. You're going to take me out there. I'm saying. So my mom would say that. And I would listen to her and I would say, now, why did she say that? I was annoyed with her because to me, it almost sounded like an invitation for my father to hit her. And he would. He'd go right ahead. He'd say, Marjorie, sticks and stone could break your bone. Okay, good. Well, let me break a couple more. And I'm so serious about this. I'm telling you the whole truth. And I wondered, and you know what? As I begin to come into the faith and understand the power of creative words, I begin to understand that my mama was not right. That's not right. As a matter of fact, not only am I going to contradict what she believed, I'll go a little further to say, you ought to rather, not that there should be a choice, okay? But I'm just saying it this way to help you understand the power of creative words. You ought to rather understand, have somebody break your bone than constantly put negative words over your life. Because the thing about sticks and stone breaking your bones, you got to actually hit me or be near me for you to break my bones. And if I think that you ever threaten me, in some kind of crazy way, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of your immediate environment. I'm leaving. If something happens in the supermarket, I'm dropping the groceries, go to the door, get in my car and leave. And not that I'm a coward or anything. I mean, I pack my 9mm every day, everywhere I go. I have it on me, but that don't mean nothing to me. I'm not going to go anywhere and say, well, I'm packing, so you mess with me, I'm gonna clap two in your behind and take you to the emergency room. No, that ain't gonna happen. I'm leaving, because you have to come in contact in order for your bones to be broken, but not words. People can speak words over you from miles away. Do you know that you don't have to physically hear negativity for negativity to bother you? I'm going to get into that in prayer college. I'm not going to go too much in that. But you got to understand that words are powerful. Words are more powerful than sticks and stones or guns or 9mm or 22s or bazookas. Words are powerful. A man or a woman to slap you or to hit you, they have to be in your physical location. A man, a person, individual could be hundreds and thousands of miles away and lie on you through a phone call. Oh, don't trust him. He ain't no good. Don't trust her. She ain't no good. And ruin you. Send an email, a voice note, a WhatsApp text, and just negatively impact your life. Because that's the power of words. And if only we can understand that death and life are in the power of the tongue. So he said, whosoever shall say to this mountain, you got to talk to the mountain. You got to say something because words are powerful. You either going to speak words of life or you're going to speak words of death. Now, here's the question. What kind of words are you speaking on a daily basis? And I really mean more than anything else over your own life, because that's where words matter. That's where words matter. If you wake up every day and you decree and declare day by day in everything and in every way, my life is getting better and better, and you believe it, let me tell you something. Every day your life will get better and better. Somebody said, but Apostle, I've been saying that for the past 2 months since I first heard you saying it. 2 months? How old are you? You spent 20 years, 30 years saying totally different things. And 2 months, you expect that all of that you did for 30 years is going to be undone in 2 months? Not impossible, but I'm just trying to tell you, you need commitment. You need to commit to the revelation and the truth. And there's a saying that I have around this house, trust the process. The work has begun. The problem is that you are continuing to inherit words that you spoke from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now that you're putting different seed into the ground, you got to wait for that new seed to germinate, to populate, to burst through the ground, grow up, and bear fruit. And that harvest will replace the old harvest. But there ain't nothing instantaneous here. Now, the supernatural can bring instantaneous blessing, but that's not what I'm teaching. I'm not teaching about supernatural power of God to alter the course of nature. I'm talking about living a life of blessing, moving from where you are, accessing another dimension of living, and then walking in that dimension of divine opportunity, divine blessing for the rest of your life. You need a miracle to bring you from a dark situation to a situation of light. But you need a lifestyle to keep you in the light. Ooh, that's heavy. What do you got to say, Cheryl? What you got to say? Let me repeat myself. Let me repeat that because that's powerful. You need a miracle to bring you from darkness to light. That's a miracle. When a supernatural thing's happening, bam, it moves you immediately or within a short space of time from darkness to light. But you need a lifestyle to keep you in the light, to live in the light. So what I'm teaching you is, one, miracles do happen. Supernatural is real. You can expect supernatural things to happen, but you cannot predict a supernatural event, but you can predict the word working in your life for the rest of your life. You have control over that. You don't have control over the supernatural. That's something that's in the providence of God. If my father chooses to just, let's say a guy shows up here and give me a check for $65 million, but to live in the place requires information, requires a lifestyle of faith. And that's what Mark 11 offers us, how to live a supernatural life, not how to get a supernatural experience. You've got to live a supernatural life. Statistics prove that 3 out of 5 people that win the lottery will lose it all in 3 to 5 years. Listen to this statistic. 3 to 5, 3 out of every 5 people that win the lottery, whether it's 100 million or $50,000, in 3 to 5 years will be back where they were before they won the lottery. 3 of 5. And they will lose their wealth in 3 to 5 years. Why? Why do you think that statistic, that startling statistic, is true? What makes that statistic true? The fact that you can win the lottery, but you have no idea about money. And if you don't have a lifestyle of understanding money, spending money, wise investments, the do's and the don'ts of wealth, you will not keep it. It will elude you. So knowledge is power, and the use of knowledge is greater power. So he says, whosoever says to this man, you got to say something. The other note in this verse is the whosoever. Listen, this ought to put a big, gigantic smile on your face. It does not matter who you are. You are a whosoever. I'm a whosoever. You can come from the darkest, poorest region, unloved, unhappy background, been in the prison system, poor as a church mouse. And have I ever wondered why church mouse are poor? Well, where did that come from? You know, that's a negative connotation. The church ain't got no money. So a mouse who lives in a church broke. Because the church broke, how could a mouse not be broke? I don't know. Anyway, that's not my message. Moving right along. So, it doesn't matter whosoever. I am. Whosoever shall say, I am. Now I want you to type this in for me one more time. I am a whosoever. That's me. He's talking about me. I am a whosoever. That's me. My life can change. I can say to the mountain, I don't have to be intimidated by the mountain. I believe that most of us here got some kind of mountain or another in your life. I work hard to move mine. I don't have any. But many of you probably still do. Some mountain, this tremendous challenge that you wake up to every day. How do I overcome this? How do I overcome that? Man, I had some mountains in my life in past couple of years, financial mountains, and I start using this word and speaking to them. I've got out of 5, there were 5 major financial situations. They were milking me for thousands of dollars per month. I want you to listen to this. They were milking me for thousands of dollars per month. 5 situations. I started speaking to them. Now, within the past, I would say within the past 3 months, 4 of them got dissolved, manifested. I mean, in writing. Dr. Bishop, you no longer have to service this financial situation. And I got 1. Now, all 5 are canceled. 4 have already manifested in paper, legally. And 1 is yet to manifest. And I'm working on that. That took it from thousands per month to a couple hundred per month. And all I did was manifested. Watch this. I hired a lawyer, paid a lawyer, went through the whole legal process of doing this. Couldn't get it reversed. Didn't happen. Wasted my money. Then I started understanding the law of attraction. I started to say, I would tell my wife, I said, this thing is become a noose around our necks. And I start saying, wait a minute. When I begin to discover the law of attraction using the power of words, I reverse that. I start speaking death to this mountain. I command the mountain to be removed. Because what? I'm a whosoever. I tell you, the total indebtedness was $200,000. That was the total indebtedness, 200,000. Today, that 200,000 is down to, I think, 32,000. And it's about to manifest. Now, they're all five are canceled. All five are canceled. One is yet to manifest in writing. And I'm expecting that mail any day now. Manifest. Why? Because of what? I don't have a sugar daddy. Men don't have sugar daddies anyway. What am I talking about? Anyway, I don't have a sugar mama. Come to think of it, though, my wife is kind of a sweet. Anyway, that ain't none of your business. The point that I want to make, I don't have a wealthy person in my life that's given me resolve a 200,000 debt at a $170,000 in the past 4 months. What I do have is Matthew 11. I'm telling you, it works. And I worked the word. And look what happened. It manifested. I got documentation sent to me very fast. It said, Dr. Bishop, if you sign these documents, have them notarized, send them back. We are canceling all 4. And I said, what about 5? I'm waiting on it. Why? I'm speaking the word. Do I know they'll cancel? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am a whosoever. You are a whosoever. And whosoever shall say, be thou removed, be cast into the sea. Whosoever. Doesn't matter why you're back. I am a whosoever. Whosoever. So whosoever shall say to this mountain, you can tell I'm taking my time here because I know hurry to get through this. If I got to continue it next week, that's fine, or Friday or sometime. I ain't pushing it because you got to get this. I'm taking my time. Oh, so, and I say unto you, the whosoever shall say to this mountain. So the first point is that you got to say something. The second point is that anyone can work this principle. Any one of us can work this principle. Now, the third point is, what's the third point, Cheryl? The third point is you've got to say to the mountain. You got to speak to the mountain. Now, let me make this clear right now. You've got to speak to the mountain. Now, let me say to all of you here, this is vitally important that you get this today. You need to get everything I'm teaching you today. But this part right here, you need to understand. And I'm going to go into greater detail in prayer college. Listen, it did not say talk to God. It said talk to the mountain. Stop asking God to move things out your life and replace that by telling the mountain where to go and how to get there. Stop talking to God about your mountains. Start talking to your mountains about God. I'm going to say that one more time. If you need to get everything I'm teaching, but Lord, if for some reason, somehow you don't get nothing else, you need to get this. Stop asking the Father about the mountains in your life. Stop telling him what's wrong in your life, what's going on, all the problems you're having, how bad you're feeling, the job you need, the healing in your body that you desire. Stop telling God about your mountains and start commanding your mountains to do what God says you're supposed to do. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest creative shift that you can ever manifest within your life. You leave here today, start speaking to mountains. What's your mountain? What's your mountain? What's going on with you? Money? Speak to it. You need healing in your body? Speak to it. I mean, there are other things involved, and we're going to get it when I come back next time. I'm going to pick up from right here. right here. Write it down, Cheryl. Remind me. I got to pick it up from after the word mountain. So I'm going to start from be removed. So but right now we are mountain. So these three things. Whosoever, that includes every last one of us, say, you got to open your mouth and say something. And B, say it to the mountain. Stop saying it to God. God don't want to hear it. He gave you the power to do it. This is what he's teaching us. This is what he taught his disciples. He's the one talking. See, if you have a red letter Bible, you'll see all of this is in red. I say to you, whosoever says to this mountain. Now this mountain, he's literally pointing to the mountain. Say this mountain. A little itty bitty man, he is saying you have the power, the authority to move that overwhelming, great, massive metropolis from in front of your life. There's nothing in your life that you cannot change. There is nothing in your life you cannot change. You don't have to wait for it to change. You can start changing it today. And you change it by the power of creative word. Tell the mountain where to go and how to get there. That's what he said. He said, tell it, be thou removed, be cast into the sea. Tell it where to go. Get out of my life. Get out of my marriage. You spirit of infidelity. You spirit of threat. You spirit of lack of provision. You spirit of financial problem. Speak to it. Command it. Tell it where to go. I command you to get out of my life. I command you to leave my body. This cancer, I speak to you now. I command you to leave my body. I command these migraine headaches to go, to leave. But someone, stop owning pain. My high blood pressure, my arthritis. Well, listen, honey, if it's yours, keep it. It's yours. You claim it. Don't call it yours. Call it what? Mark 11:23. This mountain. Call it this cancer, this high blood pressure, this diabetes, this. Command you to get out of my body. And guess what? When you start commanding it, Father give you creative ideas. He'll bring you in communication with information to help move it out your life. Want to lose weight, start talking about this weight. Don't say mine. Don't own it. See yourself thin, slim, trim. See yourself fine. Somebody called Tracy. See yourself fine. Tracy gonna call me right after the apostle. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now you gotta understand. Speak to it. Stop owning it. Okay, write that down. I will speak to it. I will never own it. Write that down. I will not own this. I will speak to it. I will. This is not my bills are piling up. What? Your bills. Come on, man. Speak to it, don't own it. They're not my bills. Speak about your wealth. Speak about canceled debts within your life. And whenever a negative word is released, bring it back. Bring it back in. Oh no, no. Not my headache. No, oh no, not mine. This headache. This headache. Speak to it. You got people on the job bothering you. You feel that things on the job ain't gonna speak to it. That's your mountain. Speak to it. It has to obey you. If you work these principles that I'm teaching you, let me tell you something. It will most certainly, absolutely work. Your job will become a place of tremendous blessing to you. Either that or Father move you out and put you in another job, another situation, another position, another department. That'll just be a total, absolute blessing to you. People love you in that area. Stop talking about you got to bear burdens and this is my burden the Lord gave me. I got to carry. This is my cross. Oh, it's your cross now. Stop owning it. Start speaking to it. That's the power of creative word. Tell it where to go. How are you doing today? Well, you know, I just broke. I just believe in God for some money. I can't catch a break because, Lord Jesus, things out there so expensive now and everything going up and I can hardly make it. The money I getting can't stretch. I'm broke before I get paid. What in the world? Kingdom don't talk like that. Come on now. Kingdom does not talk like that. Kingdom does what Jesus said in Mark 11. Speak to the mountain. How you doing? And listen, I'm blessed and highly favored. Every day I'm experiencing the blessing of the Lord in my life. I decree and declare no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every day my life is getting better and better. I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I'm doing great. Somebody said, but ain't you lying? Well, try calling Jesus a liar. He the one that said so. Can Jesus lie? What are you doing? You are speaking the reality that you desire to be experienced or to manifest in your life, not the reality that you're now experiencing. Because the thing you are now experiencing is only temporary. That's according to 2 Corinthians 4, 17 and 18. It's only temporary. So you're speaking beyond the now, beyond the current. You're speaking by faith to what you desire it to be on the God. You're speaking from a different realm. Okay, watch this. The servant said, the host of Assyria round about us, they're here to kill us. The realm of sight is where he was speaking from. Elijah came up and said, don't worry with that. They're more for us than they are of them. They're more of us than they are of them. Was he lying? No, he wasn't lying. Was he misrepresenting the truth? No, he was not. He was speaking from a whole different dimension. He was speaking from vision while the servant was speaking from sight. He had a vision of the divine provision and safety of the Lord, and angels of the Lord were round about them. That's what he saw. So you're not lying. It's not lying. It's not misrepresentation of the truth. You're just speaking from a different realm, and the realm you're speaking from is not the realm of sight. Speak from the realm of vision. That's what we're talking about. Whosoever shall say to this mountain, you gotta speak to the mountain. Now I want you to speak to the mountain in your life today, this morning, before you go to work, before you start to move around, while you're on your way to work, while you are at work. Speak to the mountain. Identify the mountain. You know what the mountains are. Speak to them. Speak to them. Command your debt to be dissolved to zero. Command your income to raise to whatever amount. Call the amount. $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month. And get it within the scope of your present faith. Don't tell me you want $1 million a month. Come on now. You can't, you talk within the confines of your faith. And as your faith grows for, let's say 5,000 or what? I mean, thought within the sphere of your belief, the sphere of your confidence. Start prophesying within the sphere of your confidence. And when you begin to master that level, let's just say you start, man, I want to see $1,000 every month. $1,000 every month coming in to my life. So let's say you start with that. And then God start doing it, you start believing God for that, start coming to pass. You say, okay, good. I'm at like 800 now a month. So I'm going to speak. I'm believing God for 2,000 a month. And you increase and you tweet it and you start rising, faith start coming, ideas start coming, start working the ideas, and the ideas you work begin to produce greater harvest and more streams of income. That's how it works. But you must speak within the sphere of certainty, because you must be sure as the sun is coming up today, you must be sure of the life that you want to have living for our Father. The power of creative words.
Pray Up and Intercessors 300 invites you to the throne room. 3 power-packed Zoom sessions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Apostolic Teacher, Dr. T. Wayne Bishop. Join us every Monday morning for a time of prayer and consecration. On Wednesday mornings midweek, tune in for a dynamic word of motivation to keep you going. And on Fridays, don't miss out on divine impartation. For further information or how to access the Zoom link, please visit our website at twaynebishop.com. The Throne Room, a place where you meet the King of Kings.
Introducing Kingdom Direction Consulting, a cutting-edge consulting company that specializes in ministry consulting. For over 30 years, Dr. T. Wayne Bishop has been mentoring and consulting both individuals and church leaders. He consults on personal spiritual growth, pastoral leadership, increasing your church's finances, discovering your calling, overcoming personal weaknesses, developing your leadership skills, and church growth. You have the questions. We have the answers. These sessions can be conducted virtually and are strictly confidential. Remember, hurting people hurt people. Let us help you live your best life. Call today at 614-312-3621 for a free consultation, or go to twaynebishop.com for further details. Kingdom Direction Consulting, helping you live your best life.
You have been listening to Kingdom Revelation with Apostle Dr. T. Wayne Bishop. Dr. T. Wayne Bishop is an anointed Bible teacher, church planter, and mentor in prayer and intercession. Contact Dr. Bishop today for revivals, conferences, leadership training, and church consulting. For more information, go to www.twaynebishop.com. Tune in each week for another broadcast of Kingdom Revelation.